cards for November the 16th. I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy, and then after that, I'm going to pull one card that is for each sign's energy, and we're going to see how all those energies blend in. What did we have wanted to show up? A Nine of Wands. All right. Well, we're making preparations to begin this video, so that would make sense. Okay, overall energy is showing up as what is that? The Empress in reverse. Ugh, I don't like this overall energy, y'all. Trying to get out of the glare there. Anyway, Empress in reverse talks about this idea of focusing on those things that worry us, or those things that we're a little bit afraid of, or those things that give us some anxiety. That's what our Empress in reverse talks about. So here's the thing. This is coming up as overall energy. So this could be about, manifesting those things that we're feeling anxious about or that we don't really want, that maybe we're even a little bit afraid of because we're focusing on the wrong things. Now, the other way that my Empress in reverse can come up for me when I'm reading, she can come up as somebody who is codependent, male or female, doesn't really matter. But somebody who's codependent, meaning somebody who probably had a pretty rough life growing up and they sort of had to grow up fast. And they're used to kind of having control of things so that they will work out well. And so this person can, without really even meaning to be offensive, can kind of try to step in and try to do more than their fair share on things. They can try to do things that really are other people's responsibilities, just to make sure that everything goes smooth. They don't have bad intentions, but they do have, some serious insecurities because of the way that they grew up. So my Empress can be somebody who's codependent. She can also be somebody who is having a hard time focusing on the good things and having a hard time really looking forward to those good things and creating the good things. In fact, maybe even creating the opposite of what she wants because of her fears or her anxieties or his. Either way, doesn't really matter on the gender, especially with the tarot. All right, let's take a peek at energies for each sign. First of all, we're going to start with Aries as usual. Glare on this side too. Okay, yay. All right, Aries, Eight of Cups showing up here. Eight of Cups. Aries, what I'm picking up off of this for you is that you are walking away with that overall energy. You're walking away from somebody who can be a little bit codependent and a little bit too controlling and maybe sort of stepping into your territory with making their decisions. And so I think that you are walking away from that. You like to be in charge and the leader. Your personality naturally puts you in that position or draws you into that position. So somebody else coming in and kind of controlling and not allowing you to be the leader is an issue. And so we see you walking away from that type of situation. If you want to go back and see what the Empress in reverse actually means, of course you can scroll back to the beginning of the video. I'm not going to rehash all of that for every single sign. All right, we're looking at Taurus next. Okay, so Taurus, world card coming up in reverse. Taurus, this is really interesting because here's what's going on with you guys. I think that you have been working on manifesting something. Of course, we're all working on manifesting something, whether we know it or not. We're manifesting whatever it is that we're focused on. So, Taurus, with the world card coming up in reverse, this is telling me that with our overall energy, especially, this is telling me that you are manifesting something that is almost perfect. There's like one fly in the soup, but everything else is totally perfect. The aroma is great. The appearance is great. The way it's plated up is great, but there's a fly there. All right. So that's what we have going on there. So you want to, take a peek at that and course correct. Of course, if you want to hear the translation or the interpretation of the Empress in reverse, that would be helpful for you as you go through this. So if you didn't listen to that at the beginning, you want to go back and listen to that. That's going to help you understand a little bit about how you make your course correction. All right, Geminis. Four of Pentacles showing up for the Geminis in reverse, along with our overall of the Empress. Four of Pentacles in reverse. What's going on here? You guys are pulling off, you guys are putting a whole lot of energy and effort into something, and it's not what you want. Gemini, this is really telling me that you are putting a whole lot of your thought processes, of your thought energy into things that you're afraid of or things that make you anxious, things that are not appealing to you. And guess what? You're manifesting those things because you're putting all that thought energy into it. Maybe even talking all about it. You're putting a lot of energy out there for this. You may be even trying to pay for something to make things better and still getting not what you want. So it's time to really go back and listen to the interpretation of the first card, and that's going to help you understand what you need to do to manifest something that you actually like. All right, let's look at Cancer. Cancers, you guys have the Hierophant showing up with our overall energy. Whew. What's happening here? Cancers, I think you're going to be really tempted to come into some kind of commitment today out of this need to make sure of something. I think that you feel like if you enter into this long-term contract or commitment, that's going to help you to be sure of some type of outcome. All right. That is probably not the best reason to enter into a commitment because it says that if you have to enter into this commitment to ensure some type of outcome, that situation is shaky. It's shaky. And you don't want to enter into some type of committed situation that's shaky. So I'm going to ask you to rethink this. You get to do whatever you want, but I'm going to ask you to rethink this today. Okay. That's for Cancers. Next up, we're looking at Leo. Excuse me, I've got an itchy throat right now, so I'm going to probably be sipping all the way through this video. I just apologize ahead of time. All right. So next thing that we're looking at, this is Leo, Queen of Pentacles showing up here. We've got the Empress in reverse as the overall energy. If you didn't hear the interpretation for that card, you may want to go back to that. Leos, I think you are dealing with somebody today who is fairly secure in their life, especially when it comes to material goods, but also somebody who's pretty well grounded. They don't go off half cocked very often. They're fairly secure in every way. Now, the thing is that this person is wanting to help you, is wanting to lift up and encourage you and help you. However, some of those codependent tendencies are kind of coming through here. And so it's really going to help if you can understand that this person is kind of trying to overstep their boundaries in the help and the encouragement they give you because of some things that happened in their past that make them feel like they need to have control of things for things to work out okay. And if you can address that with them, Leos, it feels to me like you can really have some things work out well. But you have to address this. You can't pretend that nothing's going on that's not cool. You have to be able to say something and really reassure them that things are going to be just fine if they relax a little bit. All right. Excuse me. And then, of course, follow through with making sure that things are fine. Don't just say that. Actually, have your integrity around you. Next up, let's look at Virgo. Six of Wands showing up here. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo, boop-a-doo-doo. Virgos. All right, Virgos, it looks to me like you're kind of in a little bit of a tricky situation today. You may be very tempted to act in some ways that are codependent. And I think that part of the reason that this is tricky is because acting in codependent ways is not necessarily the most healthy thing that we can do for ourselves And yes, I can speak to it. I grew up codependent and I still battle with that. Um, so you could find yourself tempted to do that. And I think part of what makes it even more tempting is that this is kind of a new situation. And right now, people are really appreciating all of the things that you're doing codependently. So, all of the things that you're doing, all the responsibilities that you're picking up that are actually somebody else's to handle, but you just want to make sure everything gets done right. People are praising you for that. They appreciate that. The problem is, how long do you want to carry other people's loads? Because at some point, you're going to get tired. And at some point, you're going to have to start making some healthy choices here just for your own sake, much less for the other person's sake, but they need you to make some healthy choices too. All right. So be really careful because this seems like a trap that feels really good to be in, if you know what I mean. All right. So that was Virgo. Next up, we're looking at Libra. Ace of Cups showing up for Libras. Okay. So Ace of Cups with that overall energy. What do we have going on here? Bum ba da doo doo, bum ba da doo. Libras. I'm going to say that there's something going on where you're displaying a little bit of codependent energy. And if you want to know a little more about that, then you want to go back to my interpretation of the Empress card at the beginning of this video. But I think there's a new person or a new project in your life, maybe a new person who is a project in your life. You know, I am codependent, I am empathic. I always joke around with other people who are empathic and have some codependent tendencies showing up. Hey, are you picking are you picking a partner or are you picking a project? Right here, I think you want to be really careful, Libra, because I think what's going on here is you're picking a project to love and to nurture and to really feed into. Okay. So this is not ideal because it's one thing to pick a project if what you're looking for is a new project to work on. It's another thing to pick a project if what you're looking for is a partner or a friend or, even a business partner. Okay. So tread carefully there. Make sure that, you're not doing things just because, and that, there are some pros here too. Okay. Next up, let's look at Scorpio. Scorpio. Two of Cups coming up in reverse. Okay, with that Empress card and the overall and the Two of Cups in reverse Scorpios, this just tells me that we're kind of focused on um, the things that we don't like about somebody today, and that is really coloring our interactions with that person in a way that they're not as pleasant as they could be. So obviously, once we've watched this video, we want to be very aware of our attitude towards other people and make sure that we're not just kind of picking them apart. Make sure that we're focusing on the things that we like about them as well as the things that we don't like about them so that we have more, or maybe only focus on the things that we like about them so that we have more interactions with that part of them that we actually enjoy. Okay, so we need to make an adjustment there today, Scorpios. Fellow Scorpios. Next up, let's look at Sagittarius. Nine of Cups coming up in reverse. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo. All right, so Sagittarius. There's something that you're trying to accomplish and you're trying to I think you're trying to do something that would make you feel fulfilled and happy, but you've got somebody in your sphere of influence who can't step back and let you do it. They're having a hard time taking their hands off the steering wheel, which leaves you feeling unsatisfied, unfulfilled, and wondering, quite frankly, if you can accomplish this on your own or not. It's a good time to tell this person to back off if you can. Okay, next up, we're going to look at Capricorn. Queen of Cups showing up in reverse for Capricorn placements. Ba-ba-da-da, ba-ba-da-da. Okay, with that overall energy, here's what's going on today, Capricorns. Looks to me like You're having a hard time really focusing on the good things, the things that are going right, the things that you aspire to achieve or to accomplish. Instead, you're focusing on the things that are going wrong or how things could possibly turn out more worst case scenario than best case scenario, things like that. Okay. Now, because of that, what are you manifesting? You're manifesting things that are closer to the worst case scenario than the best case scenario. And with this Capricorn energy showing up, it's causing you to have a fit, basically. My Queen of Cups is somebody, when she shows up in reverse, this is somebody who is having an explosive emotional reaction. So the frustration that you're having with manifesting what you want can cause you to have an explosive emotional reaction today if you don't do something about changing track before you get there. So what do you do about changing track? Well, you go back and you listen to what the Empress in reverse actually means at the front of this video to get some clues on that. But a big part of it has to do with what we're focused on. Are we focused on the things that are good or are we focused on the things that are not? The more we can focus on the things that are good, the more good we bring to us in our lives. And that can help us not get to this point. Hopefully, if it's not too late, if there hasn't been so much momentum built up towards us, then that can keep us from getting to this point where we have that explosive emotional reaction. Not that these are necessarily bad, sometimes they clear the air really well. The thing is that other people don't take them so well. That just might be experience speaking, couldn't say. All right, so let's look next at Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius, you guys got the Ten of Cups in reverse. Who had the Nine of Cups? That was Sagittarius. That's trippy. Okay, so Ten of Cups in reverse for Aquarius. What do we have going on here? Aquarius. Okay. So with this overall energy, what I'm going to say is that you're really focused on those things that are not what you want, focused on those things that maybe even make you a little anxious or afraid, unhappy. Let's say unhappy, focused on things that make you unhappy. That's a good way to summarize it. And as a result, you're creating a situation that is causing some unhappiness through your vibration. You're matching up with that situation. Okay. So a lot of people have gotten the same advice today. Go back, check out the Empress card if you didn't listen to it already and see the meanings. That's going to help you figure out how to turn this around. But it's definitely going to have to do with what are you focusing on? What are you focusing on today? All right. Next up, let's look at Pisces. Wheel of Fortune. We like this. We like this. So Pisces, with the Wheel of Fortune showing up here for you, this tells me that things are going very smooth for you. All right. And things are going very smooth for you because you have organized them. You have gotten them into a routine, into a system. Where before things might have been a little bit haphazard and chaotic, you've put in the effort and the energy to make things work smooth. And here's what's interesting with this overall energy. I think you've got somebody in your sphere of influence who is seeing this and who is really impressed. And they may even be feeling like they need to kind of step in and help here and there. And then they're realizing, oh, wait, no, I don't. Pisces has this. All right. Very cool for you, Pisces. I like it. All right, guys, this is what I have. Everybody, remember, you guys are my actual sponsors for this video. I don't talk about a lot of crazy things like VPNs or anything else. So please, excuse me, please remember to put a thumbs up on the video, share the video around with others, and of course, put some comments down below. I always love to hear you guys' feedback. Everyone have a fantastic day. Peace out.